ladies. Welcome to Self-Love Breakthrough to a New You. I am Dr. Rhonda, the Self-Love Doctor. Thank you for joining us today. This week we're going to be talking about cognitive dissonance, which is out of my book, Recognizing the Love Trap. So, please get a pencil, paper, whatever you need, hit the left-hand corner, like, and share. Because so many people want to understand why they stay with toxic relationships. I will be talking about that in one moment. Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is something that is so mind-boggling. This week I had so many patients come into me, joining my group, wanting me to teach them about narcissistic relationships. They don't understand why they're stuck in this relationship. And of course, they say, help me, Dr. Rhonda, help me. You know, I know that I was given this ministry for a reason. I realized that I've been through this for a reason. Because when I was going through it, I couldn't understand it. I would say things like, you know, this lady, she's doing this and she's doing that. I don't know what to say, but I was talking about me. Because I was so confused and I couldn't understand it. And it was embarrassing not to understand it, and nobody can tell me what was going on. So I thank God that He gave me this ministry. He took me through it for a reason. He took me through it so I can help you understand it. And so how you would be able to smell a toxic person and not get involved. Is it easy? No. But it's a process and you're worth it. And what I want people to always remember is you have to be real in order to heal. So I'm going to read something out of my book about cognitive dissonance that is deep but real. Cognitive dissonance. It's due to an addiction. Cognitive dissonance is also how we become bonded to a toxic relationship. This term is used to describe the feelings of discomfort that results when your beliefs don't not support your behavior. It's when your beliefs don't support your behavior. You're like, I don't believe in this, so why am I doing it? But that inner core, that wound is connected to theirs. So if there's a toxic person around, you're just wondering, why am I connected to this? And you don't even believe in it, but you do it. Believe me, it's a psychic cord that's connected, and it's so true. For example, it is being addicted to cigarettes. Yes, we know that smoking is a bad behavior for our health, and our beliefs concerning smoking conflicts with the practice. However, we are addicted to the cigarette, and we continue, all while knowing that it's against our best interest. Cigarettes is an addiction. As we know, we don't like it. It gives us cancer. It tears our body up, but we keep smoking it. Cognitive dissonance. We as humans do not always like the inner conflict, so we wish to restore harmony regardless if our reality really is pleasant or not. For instance, if our comfortable beliefs or perspectives are challenged, we experience cognitive dissonance as an intense feeling of discomfort, but with a very strong urge to restore harmony. Many times we prefer to get back to the harmony stage instead of making changes and solving the problem. To create this harmony, many smokers often say, well, I have to die from something. Most of us in a codependent relationship says, well, I don't want to be by myself, so if this is the best I got, then I'll do this. But we're settling. Because if you don't know who you are, then you will settle. It's the easy way out. Because if you get uncomfortable, it hurts. So why not stay in the comfort and just dwindle and die? You have to get uncomfortable. You have to have the courage, and you have to say, I'm not settling. So that's very true with cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is a psychological term that also describes the uncomfortable tension that victims experience when in a relationship with a narcissist. It is a common defense mechanism that the victim uses to cope with the deception, domination, and abuse that occurs in the relationship. Well, of course. Well, this is just how he is. My mama did it, my grandmama did it. This is just how men are. Be glad we got one. Be glad we got a woman. This is just how women are. Because see, this is men and women. It's just not women, it's both. So we just say, oh, well, that's because we don't want to deal with the interconflict and we don't want to deal with the bad behavior. It takes work. It takes work. So you have to be courageous and willing to do the work. This helps them stay in a dysfunctional relationship instead of dealing with the fear of being alone. The fear of being alone. You know, that's so deep because so many people say, well, I don't want to be by myself. Well, if you want to get together and you want to resolve the conflict that you're going inside of you, and if you want to get over that narcissistic relationship, you got to be alone. There's no way around it. Because if you don't be alone, you will continue to deal with relationships after relationships that are narcissistic. There's no way around it but to be alone. And with being alone, you got to feel the pain. And with feeling the pain, you got to go through. But I tell you what, at the end of it, it's nothing like freedom. Ask Dr. Rhonda. Believe me, if Dr. Rhonda can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it. You just got to put your heart to it. And you have to be real to heal. So that's one of the things people stay, because they don't want to be alone. Perhaps you've heard such a coping mechanism such as, well, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. How would you know? How would you know if you don't get out and do what's right for you so that you don't go crazy, so that you don't stay in that relationship, so that you don't get cancer, so that you don't get sick? How would you know? I'm not talking about a relationship that's healthy. And another thing I want people to know, I'm never saying leave your marriage. I'm saying seek God, because God will tell you what to do, because you already know the chaos you're in. Nobody else has to tell you. I'm just here to tell you the dysfunctional and the pathological science behind it. But without God, you can't do it anyway. He's the first one you have to seek. As you can imagine, this tension is mind-blowing and throws the victim into many inner conflicts and defense mechanisms. Cognitive dissonance being one. For example, a woman who was abused by her pathological narcissist spouse will hate the condition she's living in. However, with the fear of being alone and trauma bonding that is formed, she will rationalize and tell herself, he only fights me because he loves me. The inner dialogue reduces her anxiety and allows her to bond. So if you continue to be in cognitive dissonance, you'll never get out, because that is there to keep you. It's there to say, well, at least I'm not alone. First of all, I can't leave. We built this big, fine home together. A home doesn't make you happy. The only thing that makes you happy is God and freedom from your spirit of chaos. I had somebody call me not today, Friday, and said, I want to take your class, and I want my daughter to take it with me, because what I realize is that her father's a narcissist, and I don't want her to marry her father. That there was deep to me. So, my book, Recognizing the Love Trap, God wrote it. He had me write it, because he wants people to understand that this is real. These relationships are toxic. And you can heal if you get real, but you have to do that. Thank you for joining me today, and what I would like you to do is share this message. Also, I would like you to go to my website, The Self-Love Doctor. It's called selflovedoctor.com. There's all kind of information there. There's a 30-day self-tracker to help you with how to love yourself and coming to know who you are. I'm going to be doing a whole lot of education, more and more, so that we can learn to love ourselves. Thank you for listening. Have a good evening, and I'll see you next time.